Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
What's up, guys? Welcome back, Oak.
Yeah, I'm glad I leave Seattle. It's like 90 degrees. Come back to Alabama, and it's like 80.
Did you see the forecast for this week? Thanks to Irma. That's all I can
my
remember.
God.
And I'm like, that's not right, is it? And then it is. Sorry.
Come on, there are people in trouble right now. We shouldn't be making fun of that.
I know. I'm sorry. And I really
Shameful.
hope that Snitty is safe because
Yes.
he's in Florida.
Yes,
So-
he's...
Yeah, I've got a few friends that lived in Florida, and they've actually evacuated back to here for a little while. So,
good.
one of which works at Disney World. So, because it's shut down, I think until Monday.
2 days they closed Disney World, which is pretty epic for you to
for
close
Disney.
down.
Well, and the
Disney
last
World.
time they closed it for like one day, and it was a hurricane. Like, it doesn't happen often. So
No, not at
Disney's
all.
like, we're fucking happy no matter what. Get your asses here.
doesn't
Come play in
You
the
see
hurricane.
these kids flying through the air? It's magic.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That is awful.
We're just terrible people today.
Wow.
Okay, every day, but yes. So hopefully everybody in Florida will be safe.
Yeah,
Oh, God, I hope so.
yeah.
for sure.
Well, it's definitely been rough so far.
Yep.
So, if this past couple of weeks was any sort of lead up to a video game, you know we're getting close to the cutscene that takes you 20 years into the future and we're all in the wasteland. Because, I mean, there's 3 hurricanes in the Gulf right now. We had Harvey last week. Half of the fucking west side of this country is on fire. I mean, you know, things are going bad right
Yeah, I
now.
had to fly through that, which is,
Yeah.
by the way, you can smell inside of a plane, which is fantastic when you're taking off. You know.
Yeah, this is
He warned us
definitely
ahead of
the
time.
lead-up cinematic to the Wasteland Wanderer type game.
Next thing you know, Fallout
Great.
5 appears over our heads. Oh, shit. I think we're in trouble.
We
Oh,
actually
shit.
get the nukes. Well, they did the nuke test the past couple of weeks from North Korea, too. So seriously, like, we're about to get nuked and Fallout 5 is about to be real.
Hurricanes,
I call being
nukes,
a
forest
super mutant.
fires, earthquakes. No, you're
Yep.
just gonna be one of those. Oh my god, my mind's drawing a blank.
Come on, you can do it.
Nope, drawing a blank.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Mind drawing a blank. We'll move on. I'll think of
Okay.
it later.
We'll be in a completely different topic, and then they'll be like, yeah!
Yep.
I remember.
That's how it works.
Well,
I'll be
Anyway,
like,
always
what?
works.
what games have you guys been playing this week?
I'll go last.
Okay. Yeah, we'll lighten the mood a little and all that stuff. So,
We'll fill up the show
Take a
with
Baka,
59 minutes
go.
of us.
Vermintide.
Yeah, we were playing Vermintide.
Vermintide, Heroes of the Storm, PUBg. I think that's pretty much what we've been playing all week.
I started
all
playing.
multiplayer.
Yes. We already told our story about us getting our chicken dinner.
Yep.
And I think that's the only one that we've gotten.
Oh, you guys are bad.
Mate, we got second place.
That look was real.
Yeah, we got second place a few times, but
Yeah! Baka let me down twice! Twice, Baka, you let me down!
I
Twice!
wasn't trying.
Let me tell you, sitting in here, there was one night that you guys were playing, and I had my headset on because I play games with the surround sound headset, and so I don't usually hear a whole lot. But I heard Chicken getting kind of uppity, and then I hear Baka 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 Baka, like the heavy sigh from over the headset from the other room. I was like, everybody's dead. Yeah, Baka had driven them into certain death.
No. The first time was Baka couldn't snipe anybody. And
Yeah, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn for some reason that day.
And I got tilted off of the face of the earth. Like, I just was like, boom! And I couldn't focus anymore for the rest of the night. Chicken
Wow.
dinner's right there. But nothing.
Vermintide didn't seem as intense as far as the yelling goes.
You should have seen it on hard difficulty. Jesus. Oh my
And then we
God.
got Grimoires to boot.
Yes, Grimoires reduce your health by 33%, so you only have 33% of your maximum health. There are 2 per
Okay.
level, so you can run through the whole level if you get both of them at 33% health, and that's all the
Wouldn't
health
it be
you get.
66 if it reduced it by 33? I don't know. I don't know how to math. Maybe
Well,
that's
yeah,
wrong.
no. You get 2, which reduces your health by 66%, which you're left with 33% health.
Okay.
So you got like this tiny little health bar instead of the big health bar. Tiny little health bar. Get hit a few times, dead.
Okay.
Yeah. We tried that a couple of times and just fucking gave it up. That shit's too difficult.
We don't have the gear for it.
Yeah. So we're farming for gear and things like that.
Well, good luck on that.
Yes.
I played Saints Row with my sister. And
Did you finish it?
No, we didn't. You want to know why?
Did you keep freezing?
I hate you. We didn't even. It's not that it was frozen. The game didn't. Okay, so we're playing it on Steam, on our PCs, and you have to do this like hold out, escort the key thing in the finale, and then it's right before you get to the main part of the finale. Well, we could do the escort the key bit, and then it would put us in a load screen. And we like at one point I was like, let's just wait it out and see. And after like 10 minutes of us just sitting here bullshitting while we waited on it to load, it never loaded up. It just wouldn't. So no, we did not finish the game because the game apparently doesn't want to be finished, or it has. It takes way longer to load the ending than I have patience for. Maybe I don't know. So I told her we'd try it again next week, but we started some of the DLC. And that was interesting. Half of the Saints Row run through has been super interesting because it's my sister, and for a long time, like, we were close when we were kids, and then, you know, like, high school, we kind of grew apart, and then now we're getting, as adults, we're becoming friends again, and so it's like, I don't know where she's at on a lot of the really out there stuff, and there's a mission in Saints Row 4, or the 4th, whatever, where the mission prompt is do a sexy dance, and then there are action buttons, and your character, no matter what gender, is in a thong, and it's fucking awful. I was like, this is either going to mean that she's going to laugh a whole bunch and we'll be fine, or she's never going to speak to me again. She thought it was hilarious. And then she was like, please don't let us watch that again. The game froze in the same mission, so we had to do it again. Like, of all the parts that the game is going to make you redo, that one. Thanks.
It's the way it works, right?
Yeah, we've had a few glitches here and there. There was one that we just were dying laughing because we sit in the same room when we play, so she's got her laptop hooked up to the TV, so she's got the big screen, and I'm playing on my PC, and so we'll check each other's screens and see, because things look silly sometimes, like, especially some of the like, action sequences for one player to do it. The other player doesn't see necessarily what's going on, so they just see them standing there. But at one point, we were just, like, testing the limits of getting the police after us, I guess. And she went down, and I went to go to revive her, and I died next to her, like, while I was trying to get her up. And so it puts us back at the hospital, just like it does in GTA, whatever. But on my screen, she was still on the ground. Like, she was a dead body on the ground. But on her screen, she was fine. And so I was watching this dead body just slither around the streets of Steelport. It was so funny.
Best
and she
glitch
could do
ever.
The fast run, too. So it was just, like, shooting through the streets, this dead body. It was so funny. It was so good. Like, I know you're not supposed to enjoy glitches like that.
Steelport has a new superhero.
Yep.
One that is very tired or dead. We're not sure.
Lazy person.
Narcoleptic person.
It was so good, though.
Super narcoleptic! Yay!
She would shoot her gun, but she'd still be on the ground, so there's no animation. There's just bullets coming out of nowhere. Good times, good times. There was a lot of drinks involved, too, so it just made it that much fun.
No lies.
It was fun, though. I've been having a really good time with that. I've also been playing Final Fantasy, so on the opposite end of the spectrum, way to make me cry. Thank you, Square Enix, for that. But I'm gonna, as soon as we're done with the show today, I'm gonna go back to that. So
I'm glad you're enjoying that one.
Are we done yet? Because I need to see what happens next.
That's good.
I'm glad I'm enjoying it too. Although I'm worried because Chicken said like chapter 8 is when you hit this is a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
And I'm on chapter 7. So.
Like, I'm listening to you and going, oh, you're so naive and young. Wait till after you hit chapter 8. You're going to be like, yay. Oh, this is Final Fantasy. I feel bad now. Fuck. Why am I doing this?
So that probably means everybody's gonna die. That's my guess, my like future forecast.
No,
everybody's dead by the end of the game.
I'll tell you this: if everybody dies, you're sad and then you get over it. Final Fantasy, people don't die. It's just things that happen make you feel fucking worse than if they just died. It's like, oh, I feel so
God.
bad. I feel so bad. Somebody help me. I can't play.
No, that's
more.
not true. People do die in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. or people are already dead. Final Fantasy X.
Well, I'm kind of looking forward to it, but now I'm not. Thanks.
Don't look forward
Anyway.
to it. Cross every chapter with hesitation.
There you go.
Well, I know Oak spent his weekend last weekend at PAX, so everybody buckle up because here comes a bunch of stuff that we did not get to see because we were not there because we're losers.
You're not losers. You've been to PAX South, so you're ahead on something.
We've been to a PAX, so come on now.
Yep. All right, start off with, just before I left, Mario plus Rabbids came out, so I was happy about that for the Switch. So I got to play that a lot on the plane, and I've still continued to play that a lot, and to the fact that my daughter sits and watches me play it. It's really well done. The plot line and everything that they have is great, but the humor, because you have the mixture of the Beepo, which is the little guy. It's like this little blue thing that you kind of follow around. He's a character himself too. He's kind of sarcastic, and what's funny though is they hint to you what's really going on. So if you're an adult, you get it. If you were a kid, you might not. But the humor with the Rabbids and stuff, like they'll just be random Rabbids that are sitting over on the side as you're walking from one area to another. It allows you to be able to search, and it pops up and you click on it, and they might be hanging off of the side of something, and wind's blowing, and then they'll just all of a sudden go flying off, and it's like, then boop, they pop right back into the spot again. So I'm enjoying that. As for PAX West, I ended up, of course, it was a 4-day event. Friday and Saturday were the days we were getting settled in Seattle, and then Sunday and Monday were the days that we ended up hitting. I was there with my friend Maldus, awesome guy, and we had a great time. We actually showed up, and in front of the building we were supposed to be in the convention center, we walk through, and we think we're just in line on the street, like just walking down the street in a big crowd trying to get to the entrance. And then the next thing we know, we're in the line, which was 3 city blocks long, about 6 wide. And so we go through and make our way through and get inside, and then have to, it like all bottlenecks around these escalators that you have to go to the 5th floor for.
Right.
On the 5th floor, first thing we did when we walked in was play Quake Champions, which was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. And I had Maldus, he was an old Quake player, so I had him play through it. See how he felt about it. It was really pretty. It was funny because we weren't in the area everybody else would normally be playing that. We were actually playing it in the Razer area because they had their own booth, and it was the first thing you walked in. And so they had that and Rocket League and Final Fantasy 15 playing on PCs. And so there was a bunch of people playing the Final Fantasy 15. And then there was, like in the middle, they had this big television that actually had controllers and stuff on it, and you could play Rocket League with somebody. And then they had a bunch of stuff set up for Quake. I stood in line for Biomutant and finally got in to play it because I had to play this game. It was very entertaining. The funny thing to me was, the customizable. They were talking about everything's fully customizable. Right now, the only thing I saw was one character, but you had like 10 patterns that you could have on the fur, a bunch of different colors that you could choose from, and I'm talking a full color wheel. So you actually physically move it around the color wheel, and then you decide the shading. In both, and it has a primary and a secondary color, and you decide how you want the fur to look. Which some people were he looked like a big freaking puffball. It's like the same character, but it'd just be this big puffball.
He's just floofy.
Yeah, and
Very fluffy.
Yeah,
just
and
make
then
Garfield and run with it.
And then they also had this. It was very odd on how they did it. It was basically, again, it was like a little circle, and you moved your stick around until you got to the point to where you were happy with the amount of damage that you could lay out, so your strength, if you will, and then also what your health was. So you could kind of get a good combination of the two of them, but it changed the shape of the body when you did it. So like the most health one had this huge head and a little bitty body. And so, but
Do you think that would be the opposite because it'd be easier to shoot you in the head if your head's giant?
I guess so. The gameplay itself, of course, it handheld you a little bit because it's a demo and it's trying to show you how to play. But it was fun. I mean, it was very hacky slashy type game. It was interesting to me because you stand in line for a while and you can see other people playing. The only time I saw subtitles was when somebody in the game itself was talking. The narrator, on the other hand, you never saw subtitles for. You only heard them when you actually put the headphones on, which I thought was odd.
Yeah, that's a weird choice.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a setting change that somebody didn't do, or what.
One of the things that's actually in the news this week is that you can choose how much narration. Maybe it has something to do with like they didn't put the subtitles because you may completely turn that off.
And
maybe
you can't turn, like, apparently the narrator is part of the story. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. What I'm guessing, it may be in his head. Maybe it's him talking to himself.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no,
the
it's
voices
another
are
mental
different.
health one.
The voices are different, but yeah, possibility. I mean, he, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I was reading the article that Grif's talking about, and I don't know, maybe they had it turned down to where he's not talking the whole time or something, but it didn't bother me. And you do go through and loot and craft your weapons, and you can go through. They just had it to where you could randomize, and it would pop different stuff up that you have, and be able to create both a melee weapon and a gun of some sort. And so it was fun, and it was very exactly what they said, post-apocalyptic kung fu RPG. I mean, it was exactly what they had. And I was so upset though, because like when it ends, you got this huge like 3-headed dragon thing that pops up, and then it goes to the trailer that we saw with the hand and the flicking and all that stuff that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
You didn't get to play in the hand?
No, I was so mad. I was like, no, I want to play as the hand.
I know, that would have been the part that I would have been most excited about.
Yep. So you didn't get to do that. A few of the other things, I did get to go through. Microsoft had a huge section where they were at, and of course they had PUBg that was there. Most people, it looked like everybody was playing first person on PUBg. It looked fantastic on. They had Xbox One X's lined up underneath all of their stuff, so I'm assuming that's what they were really running it off of, was the Xbox One X. But it looked gorgeous. They had 4K displays that they were showing it off of, and it looked smooth. But it was very odd to see if you hit the X button, you would hit the X button to pick things up off the ground and stuff like that. So you see the little blue icon that would come up, where you're used to, if you're usually playing on PC, it's very unusual to see that kind of different aspect to it. One of the games that they were pushing them hard, man, but they only had this one display of the actual game itself, and I got to play through a little bit, which was the Disneyland Adventures, which was a 360 game that they've remastered and they're going to put on the Xbox One or something like that. And originally it was a Kinect game, I think, and it was fun. It was really entertaining, but I was like, there was like a booth that was outside as you were coming in, and they were promoting it, and then of course they've got Super Lucky, which is the Everybody Wanted Conquer, but now we got this fox called Lucky that game that's on there. It's a platform style game, like a 3D platform style game, like Super Mario is nowadays. But it's cute. Like, it looks like the gameplay and stuff on it was really fun. I watched a few people playing through it, which was great because waiting in a line for half an hour to play, or actually that line was about an hour. Waiting for about an hour to sit through that was ridiculous. Sat and watched Sea of Thieves because that line was about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And what it was, I figured out afterwards why it was taking so long. What it was is everyone that was in the line were playing. One side was playing against the other side. So you had, let's say, 8 people on each side. So you had 16 people total that were 8 versus 8 playing against each other in Sea of Thieves. And so that's why it was taking so long, is because they were playing for 20 minutes against each other, And then you got to wait for the next group to get through, and so it was just taking a while to do it. But the game itself looked really good. It was cool to see the communication between the people on the ships. That was pretty neat. And then they had Minecraft there. If anybody wanted to play in 4K, they had it. That
My
line was the
pixels are
shortest.
pixelated.
That line was the shortest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet it was. Oh,
Everyone's
like,
played
"That's
Minecraft to
good."
death.
They had Cuphead, the fighting game that looks like the 1930s cartoons.
Right.
That one I got to play a little bit of. That one's going to be fun. I'm going to probably put a lot of time into that one, just the adventure side of it. It was just so obscure. Feels really good to play. Enjoyed it. Of course, Ark was there. I did not play Ark, but it did. They had a huge T-Rex, and then also whatever the dinosaur is that they have that's on their cover art.
The raptor one?
Yeah, the one that looks kind of like a raptor. That. And you could have gotten on either one of them. People would have taken pictures of you on those. But the T-Rex was massive. And there was a long line for Ark too, and I was like, "You're not playing long."
I was like, "What the hell are you getting in line to play Ark?"
It was like, okay. So there was a long line for it. Of course, they were all PCs. There was no consoles available for Ark. And they had a huge sign that said Ragnarok, and the other one was Arbitration, I think.
Yeah, that's their new DLC.
Yeah, so there are 2 new DLCs. They're talking about those. And then they had like a guy that was dressed up like a big muscular guy that was dressed up like a caveman, and then an attractive woman that was dressed up like a cave woman that you could have got pictures made with for theirs. But it amazed me that people were waiting hours to play Ark. Like, it just amazed me. I'm like, this game's out and has been out for 2 years. You're still playing.
Well, it's actually only been out for a month.
Yeah, out of early access. Maybe that's what it is. Everybody was waiting.
It's still not much better, from what I've heard.
Bethesda had their VR systems there. They did have clear glass, so we could see what other people were seeing when they were playing. The Doom one looked pretty good. I was going to get in line the last day for the VR system. When I got to, now this is, I think the doors open at like 10 o'clock. I entered at 10:30. By the time I got to that area, and I went straight to that area. By the time I got to that area, the line was completely closed off, and within 2 hours was closed off for the day.
Huh.
And I was like, no. I was like, I'm good. The Wolfenstein looked fantastic. It was really gorgeous. I did run into Pete Hines, the vice president of Bethesda, and I've got to tell you all something. For somebody that's a millionaire, that dude needs to shave his back. That's all I'm telling you now.
So gross.
It's so gross. He had a light blue collared shirt on with gray hair sticking out of the top of the...
That's
So
gross.
like an extra collar. I'm like, oh, come on, Pete. You got to do something about that. Tim Robbins. I ran into Tim Robbins, the actor. They were shooting some type of TV show or something there. I don't know if it was about cosplay or what. He was in full makeup, so I'm assuming he was part of it because he kind of walked up while they were filming stuff.
Right.
And I went around to just kind of snap a picture of him. Total War Warhammer 2, that or whatever it is, was there. That y'all your game that y'all are waiting on. That one, the line was about 2 hours on that one, and I don't know that game well enough to go in and go, all right, I'll go in and play.
Wow, 2 hours to play a game like that? I mean, that's another strategy game. What are you gonna do? Start?
And they had what 40 or 50 like PCs in there.
Holy
that people were going in and
shit.
playing. That section was huge because it was like the whole Total War series stuff, and they even had an arena.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Sorry, that would be my echo in the background. That evidently I disturbed her. That was new. So but there was like a whole section that was there and they had an arena and some other stuff that they did but it was, I mean, it looked great. Like I could peek through a door and kind of see how everything looked, and then watched other people play through other Total War games, which I thought was kind of odd that they still had Total War stuff that was set up, but I guess they were promoting all of their product.
Oh yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome. Some odd, strange games. One was I told Grif about earlier was one called Spy Party, which she believes is based on a board game from like the 70s.
Yeah, check out. We played that game, that board game version. I think it's called Secret Agent.
Yeah, I was about to say Secret Agent. Yeah, I remember that. I think we have it over there.
Well,
anyway, carry on. Sorry.
The way this one is set up is one of you is going to be a spy, and you're going to be in a room full of NPCs. Well, you have missions. Let's say you have 6 missions to do, and you've got to do the 6 missions that are on your list, but you have to blend in with the NPCs. And the other person is a sniper outside, and their job is to figure out who it is that is not an NPC and snipe them before the time runs out. And so it's a cheap game. It was like $10, $20, something like that.
What's it called?
Spy Party. It's got its own website.
I gotcha.
But it was.
Oh wow!
But it was funny because they had people going back and forth at each other, and like it had a long line. I mean, it was like a 30-minute wait to play this little game. But I thought it was kind of unusual and different. Another game that I thought was kind of cool, an indie game called Cuphead, which was a fighting game to where each person has beverages in their hand, and the goal is to knock the other person's beverage out. So when you make a hit, it's got a certain amount that you gotta go. And I was like, that was somebody that was hungover the next morning, accidentally bumped into somebody, knocked some coffee out, and went, "Hey, we could create a game out of this."
Oh god, probably.
I was gonna tell you all because we were talking about the Final Fantasy 15, and if they had any left, I would have gotten it for y'all. They actually make. The things that you put in your windows that look like in your window of your car, so like it doesn't heat up your inside of your car, so you put it like in the front window.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, they have one like that, but it's everyone from Final Fantasy 15 sitting in their car. And
Nice.
I was like, "Oh, you got any left?" And she's like, "No, I'm out." I was like, "No."
I can see why that's popular though.
Yeah. No. But there's some other good games and stuff that it was fun. A lot of tabletop gaming stuff going on. I think it was about 4 floors, over 80,000 people that were there. I was trying to think what the newspaper said. I think they said it was 440,000 square feet of space that we took up in 80,000 people. And it was actually 4 or 5 different places that you could go, because they had like a theater where the orchestra regularly plays, and that's where they did the big tabletop for PAX, which is Acquisition Incorporated. We were like Chris Perkins and Jerry from PAX and stuff is all part of that, and then they'll bring in some people from the C team and things. The only thing I was really upset about, because I was like, I thought Destiny was supposed to be here. Well, if I had looked at my little app, I would have found it. But my last day, well, its last day, because it was only there the first, second, and third. So its last day, I'm hopping in an Uber. Uber's pulling off, and I look to the right. With big thing, come here to play Destiny.
Oh.
For PC. Because I was going to see what it was going to be like on PC. And so I didn't get to do it. I'm sorry, Ray Thub. I'm sorry.
You're just the worst.
I was trying to find it. But it was overall fun. I want to go again. Now that I kind of have an idea of how to fill things out. They did have Dreadnought on one of the PC manufacturers had Dreadnought on an entire row of those. So I got Maldus to play through part of that, and I played some too. So that was fun. But yeah, it's so overwhelming though, the amount of games and stuff that's there. Like, you don't realize how many games are going to be coming out. Well, might be coming out at some point. So, but definitely fun, entertaining. The color of if you followed me on Twitter, the color of hair for the entire thing was a blue-green color, and I mean, you couldn't walk 5 steps without hitting somebody that had blue and green hair. And I don't know why that happened.
Thing, okay? Maybe they are all.
I didn't know why it happened to be that color. Like, there was a couple purples, a couple like bright blues, things like that. But blue green was just like, it was the most popular thing. It was very weird. that was the color that everyone chose. Some good cosplay stuff going on. Somebody had a Samus that was spot on, just spot on. And I was trying to think. Oh, there was a girl that was dressed as Mercy, and I'm assuming, like, I don't know professional cosplayers, but I'm assuming that's what she does, just based on the cosplay, like the way it looked. So, pretty awesome. But anyway, that was my trip. I enjoyed it. I'm back alive. Yay! And I'm still playing Mario Rabbids. So.
Yeah, that's one that we'll have to pick up at some point.
Yes.
Well, there's a way to battle with your friends too. I haven't figured that one out yet because we didn't. My friend didn't have it, so Moldus didn't have it. He was playing Zelda on his, so
Nothing wrong with that.
nothing's wrong with that. No, but there's a way. There's like a battle arena thing, and I guess if you and your friend are there, then you can battle against each other, like in the same room. I guess.
Switch it up.
Yeah, they had a whole area though that was like it looked like a big thing of beanbags. It's one whole floor full of beanbags, and people were just all laying down sleeping, or they had Switches in their hands, or 3DSs in their hands, or their phone in their hands, just sitting there doing that. So that was pretty cool.
The rest area.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, going to a con for your first time can definitely be overwhelming.
A little bit.
Yeah, after the first time, everybody kind of learns how to manage their time a little better.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Time
yeah, for
management.
sure.
Yeah, you know how next time we go to one, we'll know how to prepare a little better.
Time management, totally overrated.
And this is why I carried around snacks and stuff in my backpack.
Well,
I
you guys
learned my
wanna talk
lesson the
about
first time. It's like, I'm hungry, it's $20 for this. God damn it.
I'll just take my own snacks. Jeez.
Bring a little
Bake
pop a little
cookies
grill out.
and brownies, and they're going to be better than yours, and you guys are going to be jealous.
You guys want to talk about some news?
Sure.
What news? Is there new news?
What do you want to talk about?
New
Go.
news?
Somebody pick one.
South
We
Park.
have like a handful, which is way better than last week.
Baka said South Park. All right, South
Park is South Park in their difficulty setting of the darker your skin is, the less money and items and stuff that you'll basically get rewards for in the game.
It's so wrong on so many levels.
But I don't expect anything less from South Park at this point, especially.
Yeah.
No, and they've got like one of the fight scenes too is with a priest, right?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah, I think there's a thing about that that's quite lewd, and it's just like.
If people are throwing any kind of a fit about it, I mean, did they play the first game?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me. Oh,
I mean, if you can get through the first game, the second game's gonna be no problem.
yeah. The first game was. Oh wow,
Yeah.
this just happened.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Nazi baby zombie fetus thing that you fight as a boss? I mean...
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
weird.
You say weird, I say fucked up. I mean, that
Yeah.
game was fucked up.
I mean, it is.
It wasn't weird. It was just fucked up. It blew past weird and went straight on to what the fuck is this, Bill?
Oh, it was good though. The first one was really good, so I want to play the second one. I mean, I guess you kind of need to know what you're getting into when if you're buying something that says South Park on it.
You know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, you should know. Like, they're gonna shock it. Like, okay, how can we shock people? That's pretty much what they think.
Yes.
Mhm.
What can we?
Like, what is the scariest thing
Biggest
that we
shock
can do?
factor. Yeah, they usually do it pretty well.
I guess at some point though, there's probably going to be a line drawn at some point and been like, all right, look, you can do this, but it has to be an adults only title because of some of the shit that you're trying to do. That is,
Well,
I guess,
it's,
maybe when they know
it's
they
rated
put
R,
anything on
so... I mean, as long
It's
as they're
rated
not
M.
doing... Well, I don't know. The first one got away with quite a bit. I mean...
I know, that's what I'm saying, is like, how long until the ESRB is like, all right, look, we're getting into adults only territory.
They'd probably tone it down just a little bit just to get it back to rated...
They did the
Rated
first
M.
one. I thought it was adults only, and they had to take one little thing out, but I don't remember what it was.
In Australia, they weren't going to be able to release it at all unless they edited it, which is why everybody made such a big deal about the koala bears, because they just put koalas over certain scenes.
Yeah, and then there was a thing where they would say they actually had a thing that popped up on the screen that said if you were located in Australia and I think some places in Europe, then this is the part where you would see this. and then it would go back to the regular thing.
Well, I mean, the first game you had to like dodge balls, basically, like someone's
Yes.
actual balls. So
Someone's dad's actual balls, which made it even
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Game completely unexpected yet again. But it was fun. I mean, the gameplay was great. The humor was fantastic, you know. And so I now you go with a superhero theme. You gotta. It just seems entertaining to me. Like I don't know. I don't really care if
Coon and
like
Friends.
Chicken said. This doesn't surprise me in any way whatsoever. So.
Go in
Doesn't bother
expecting the absolute fucking worst that your little mind can imagine from South Park,
and
then multiply
apparently-
it by 10.
apparently a pre-order bonus is something involving Tally.
Towely? Like
Yeah.
the towel?
Oh, towel?
Yeah, the towel.
It sounded like
Okay,
you said tally. Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
tally.
I was like
like
Tally-Zor?
Mass Effect.
Yeah. I was like,
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know where to go with that
I
one.
was like, y'all had a long enough discussion about that shit last week. You don't need to have another.
Yeah, no shit.
So PUBg is now at the 1 million mark of concurrent users on Steam.
That's not surprising.
No. What is crazy to me is like Dota 2, you're at 770,000, 544,000 on CSGO. And then H1Z1, which is basically the original game that PUBG is based off of, because it's the same person, everything. Brendan's the one that created it, is 86,000. So let's do the math there. You got a million people using a game and 86,000. And H1Z1 King of the Kill just released not too long ago. I think it was last week or something, an update to get it closer to the way that PUBG works. But it's too late. I think everybody's...
Yeah, it's way too late.
It's too late. Everybody's moved over. So that's crazy, though. That's a lot of damn people playing the game. But also means you can get into a game a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 100 people. You could just click ready and then jump on in. There you go. I wonder about the longevity of it. Like, it's super popular now, but what's it going to be like in a year or two?
I think it'll go the way a lot of them go, where it'll always have a hardcore player base, but I think that player base will shrink back down.
And I think it's partially because of the streamers, too. Like, you got some of the biggest streamers on Twitch right now playing nothing but I've watched a few of them, and they're starting to get bored with the lack of leaderboards and ranking systems, and the one-and-dones are getting to be mundane. It's like, oh yeah, I win. All right, play another one. Oh yeah, I win. Okay, this is getting boring. I can't. There's nothing for me to show off how good I am other than streaming. So.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to be adding new leaderboard stuff, and I think they're waiting till it gets closer to the Xbox coming out, and the desert map is supposed to be coming out soon, but they said that when they release on Xbox One, it's not guaranteed the desert map will be out yet or not. So, but that's supposed to be out soon as well. So, and they're not raising the price. What? A company not raising the price? What?
Shit. I mean, they've already sold 10 million copies. So, what, $300 million that they've made already?
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna raise the price just because we're coming out. It's like it's gonna be a full release, and I'm like, yes.
Hell yeah. That's how you keep your customers too. It's like, oh yeah, they spent. I didn't even buy the game, just for the record.
Red bought it for
Yep.
you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Red bought it for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you would have bought it.
Maybe. I was holding off because it was an early access game, and I usually try to hold off on early access games.
Right.
So maybe I would have, eventually.
Maybe eventually.
Eventually.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Good for them.
Well,
They're a million people.
yes. 1 million.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not one of them. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's not your style of game.
It's fun though. I mean, I enjoy it, and it's like I'm not good at it, but I still enjoy it. Like I think that's the reason there's an appeal to it, because even people like me were like, I still like getting into the world and going in and seeing what I can explore and try to win, but I know I'm not good at it. That type thing.
Well,
Y'all are Blizzard fans. Looks like they are
What?
opening
No.
up an eSports arena next month.
which is fucking cool.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Riot already has their LCS studio where they basically have a big, seats and the stage, and they've got like 2 studios where they let the people play the games. But this is its own esports arena. Like, I mean, that's
Kind of a big
basically,
deal.
yeah. This right here is why competition is good, is because Riot could get away with their little LCS studio, and I say little, it's not little, it's really nice. But when another company comes into the esports stage and is like, look at our arena, look at how much money we've invested into it, Riot's got to be like, that's a good idea. We're going
Let's
to go
make
ahead and
ours
do that.
bigger.
Competition. They even admitted, I mean, first of all, they asked Blizzard for help with their pick and ban system, like their drafting, and Blizzard helped them. And they have just said that they saw what Blizzard did with Heroes of the Storm 2.0 and is putting in, basically they're changing their loot system to match that. I mean, they see, which is what makes Riot a good company. They see something that works really well, and they're like, we can implement that. That's a good idea. Kudos to you. We're going to go ahead and do it. Competition, people. It's good. So maybe we'll see a better studio for other companies.
There was a lot of Overwatch, like small little tournament stuff that was going on during PAX West. That was fun to watch, especially with a crowd. Like, there was probably 25, 30 of us that were watching some of the stuff that was going on. But that was entertaining. I couldn't imagine having a full arena, but the guy that was announcing was doing a really good job. They had a red team, blue team is basically how they had it set up, and they were battling back and forth. And if it was really cool, because if there was a kill made, or when one side wins, that side lit up, so you knew which side was which.
Oh.
So that way, like, it was like you got 2 screens going, one showing the red side, one showing the blue side. But if the blue side won, it would, because a lot of the scoring was a little hard to tell on who was ahead and who wasn't. So it would be kind of lit a little bit to let you know who's ahead, and then when it would full light when they would win. So it was pretty neat. That was at the Intel booth that we were watching a lot of that stuff.
Nice.
But it was fun. They had Paladin going as well.
Nice.
Which was entertaining to watch. There's a game, and I can't remember the name of it now. I tweeted out about it, but another clone similar to that looked very, very interesting, because the characters look like 1960s sci-fi stuff. Like, they have the guns and everything, and I'm like, oh, you got me. Like, I got to play this now, just because of the characters. And they had everybody playing. The monitors they actually put around the outside of them, the frames look like old TVs, antennas on top and everything.
Huh.
So it was pretty neat.
That was pretty neat.
So,
Interesting.
good job, Blizzard. Support
They
your
always
own
do a
system.
good job.
Yes.
We should stop being surprised by that.
Yeah, except I find it weird that they let Destiny onto their
Launcher?
on their
I
platform.
didn't even notice it till the other day. I was like, wait a minute. What's
But-
that doing on my launcher?
I'm pretty sure
'Cause they said it
Activision
would
was
be.
like, nudge, nudge. Blizzard, we're bringing to PC, and we want like the top best security in PC gaming. Can you help us out? And they're like, sure. Just go away and stop nagging me. Nagging me.
Nagging me. Oh, God.
I wonder if that side of the company gets a cut every time that they sell on PC off of that.
Probably. Oh, you know that they do. I mean, it's their launcher, and they're
Yeah.
running the game. Well, not running the game. They're hosting the game, the client,
Yeah.
I should say. So I'm sure that they get a little bit of money every time it sells on PC from that.
I'm sure, and I mean, there's a lot of people that are PC gamers that wanted to be able to play Destiny, the first one, and Destiny 2. I mean, it's getting decent reviews. Like, there's some things that have changed that they listen to everything, and then there's stuff that's very similar to what we had going on before. So,
Right.
unfortunately, it looks like they do have a microtransaction issue.
Ugh, of course they do. I mean, raise your hand if you're shocked. Nobody raises their hand.
I'm totally surprised by this.
Yeah.
So does
Lies.
two hands mean I'm lying?
You were surprised by your surprise.
See,
Yes.
even my Gundam model is surprised. No.
Yeah, the microtransactions are just gonna get. Like, I feel like this might be only the beginning too, because the main thing that people are worried about is consumable shaders as microtransaction. But I mean, like, I feel like they're gonna be like, how can we best benefit from making everybody else really sad? Essentially, like, shaders are consumable now, so you can only use them once, and that's kind of a big deal because everybody likes to wear, you know, pretty colors and be pretty. And to be fair, some of the outfits, you're like, seriously, what was this designer thinking with these color choices? It's not like this is the only company that has that issue, but that's not, you know, it's not what we're talking about. But I wonder what else we can do. Like, can you at some point get to selling people a gun that ends up being a consumable, where it's like, you can use this for 2 weeks, and after those 2 weeks, it's gone.
No,
Isn't that
stop!
what APB
You're
did?
triggering me.
No.
Stop.
We're not doing APB.
Oh my God.
We're not doing APB. It's like, yeah, give us like $20 for this gun. You can use it per month, and it's gone.
Please, we're not going back to that. Like, as soon as you like brought up renting guns, I was like, no, not
Renting
again.
guns. What an interesting way to look at it. You've just given them the way they're going to present that microtransaction.
Yeah,
You
and
can have this
everybody
gun.
will be like, APB failed because of that shit, and anybody that uses that will fail too.
Well, basically what they could be doing too, if like this goes back to what Grif was saying on that, you could actually set it up similar to the way Breath of the Wild is, where you actually use up its ability to be able to be used anymore. So like
durability.
Your early part of Zelda game, like if you've got a stick, if you've got a sword, if you've got anything, you can only use it so many times before it's gone. So it wouldn't surprise me down the road if it was something similar to, in order to, but not necessarily microtransaction it, but make it to where you have to go into the game continually and grind through in order to be able to get more weaponry.
I've seen companies shoot themselves in the foot. They would blow their fucking leg off if they tried something like that. I mean, that would cripple them beyond
The
compare.
thing though is there are going to be those people out there that would be like, yeah, I'll give you like $200 a month so I can have all the best weapons constantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
I mean,
happened
Newbie
to
got
APB.
a taste of that when we played Dreadnought this week. Like, we went into PvP mode and got pitted against, like, almost an entire side of Tier 4 ships. And he's like, what the crap is this? And it's like, this is the pay to win we were talking about. This is why we were telling you not to go out and buy Battlefront right away until we saw what was going on with it.
Yeah, that's what hurts me so much about Dreadnought. I love that company, but damn, did they make a poor choice.
Yeah.
It's like, we're only like level 3 and we're getting stopped because people went out and spent like $200 for Tier 4 ships.
Yep, and it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. It's hard to see games like that go downhill. Especially games that you had such high hopes for.
High hopes.
Yeah, but also a problem with the microtransaction Destiny is their slight power that they're selling to. It's RNG, but regardless, it's power that you can get with money. So
Because they're selling
loot
elemental
boxes.
weapon upgrades.
Loot
and things
boxes.
too, aren't they?
Yeah, it's weapon armor and weapon mods, and you can get shadings and things like that. And the mods you can put on your armor and your weapons to
I just
change
feel
a
like if
little
you're
bit.
spending money for it, it shouldn't be a temporary, like the shader thing. To spend money on something like that just seems like a really dick move. Because especially if is it all loot boxes, or can you buy specific items?
They are
because if it's
called
you got-
blind loot boxes.
Yeah, you've got 500, like, you can buy silver. So you have 500 silver that you can buy at a time. Then you get 1,000 silver, and it's at the same rate, basically, that you would have gotten 500, but so they added an extra 100. So you get 1,100, really. Then you get 2,300. Then you get
well, yeah, but are you buying
5,800.
actually items, or are you buying all? Is it all loot box based?
It's loot boxes. You
can't even say I'm gonna spend this money to get these shaders so that I can have them. You're gonna say I'm gonna spend all of this money and hopes that I get what I want.
You can buy blind loot boxes or bright engrams. Engrams have the stuff in them. They're basically like engrams in the game. You can identify it, and it gives you, shader or mod or things
But that's
like
still
that.
loot boxes, isn't it? Essentially, because it's
In a
blind.
sense,
It's
yeah.
just
Yep. Well,
really.
And then, this is what it looks like. It looks like you're buying the silver to buy your engrams. You can't buy any more than 5 engrams at a time, which cost 800 silver. So even paying basically $5, you can't get enough. So you have to pay a minimum
of $10
of $10 to be able to get it. Just 5 engrams. So
that's how companies get you though. I mean, Riot did it the same way. Like skins would cost $9.75, and you would have to buy like 1,500 Riot points to buy one of those skins, and then you'd be left over. Then you'd have to buy more to use that.
If I could buy what I wanted with it, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with it having leftovers and using that system, because that's to encourage you to keep buying.
There is a website for League specifically that you could put in your amount of Riot points that you have, and it will tell you exactly what to buy and how much Riot points to buy to equal out to 0.
That's way too much work.
It does it for you, because I put mine in, and it's like, buy this skin's coming on sale, so buy that, buy this little box, buy this, and buy another $5 Riot points, and then buy this, and you'll have 0 Riot points left over. Because I got like 32.
What are you gonna do with it? Nothing.
Exactly, you can't do anything with it.
But at least you can buy what you want with it if you wanted to put extra money on that. With Destiny, it's continue to gamble with it, essentially. And yeah, you can go and get these things in the real world, or in the game world. You can go and get the shaders and whatnot. But we were talking about it before the show, and that's what they're using as their crutch to keep people grinding, instead of it being, based on, this is super fun and I really like it. It's, I need more of X shader. Can we go do X old raid?
I just don't understand. Like, I get trying to customize your character and shade certain things.
Right.
But it was not that important to me when I'm playing the game. Like,
but it is important
But
to
some people, like, it is so important for your character to look right.
Okay, to me, when I was playing Destiny, for the little bit that I did play, it was important, because the best gear piece that I had was a fucking ugly color. Like, it just looked like garbage. And I didn't want to run around in that because I looked fucking ridiculous. So I always had like a handful of shaders that I had found that every time, I got a gear piece that was ugly again, I would go and change it, because I don't know. It was one of those things where it's like, first of all, I don't want to look like everybody else. Secondly, I don't want to look like this color, because one of them was like snot green was the piece that I picked up. And I had a guy that was blue with blue hair, and he was running around in a snot green outfit on the tower. I'm like, no, not doing this. Change that shit to gray.
But he could be the legendary superhero Booger Man.
No, not my thing. But it's more important for some people than it is for others. It's just how you want your character to look based on, the fact that you've got a couple of shaders, or if you want to run around in booger green.
Yeah. Well, what it says is you can't even buy silver until after you hit 20, and you get a bright engram every time you level up after you've hit the soft cap of level 20. So that whole aspect right there, that's nice. Like, you get free engrams and things like that. But connecting those, it's like passing someone a little bit of Coke and be like, you like this? You like this? You like this? Can I get some more of those engrams, man? Yeah, $5 right here. So it's so, I don't know. It's capitalism at its finest. Teasing people with it and then charging them money for it.
No, I think it's capitalism at its worst.
Yeah.
Capitalism at its finest would be
what, Overwatch?
Yeah, I would say Overwatch.
Yeah, because you get free loot boxes, you can buy loot boxes, and it's all cosmetic.
Yep, there's no power buying to it. It is cosmetic. You can earn, those cosmetics through gameplay and whatnot. And yeah, some of it is kind of grindy, and it would be nice if you could straight up buy the money currency so that you could buy specific skins in Overwatch. But
so
I guess
Here's the Storm would be the perfect one, because you get loot boxes for every time you level up a character. You can buy coins, in which case you could buy whatever you want in it, and it's all cosmetic and nothing offers any power.
Yep.
So that would be a better example. Blizzard has a good way to make it so that they don't shaft you very hard. Their WoW stuff is quite expensive, though. $30 for a mount. Jesus.
That's why I don't buy the stuff from WoW because it is so expensive for a cosmetic item.
Yes.
Although every once in a while, I think their charity ones are nice.
Yes, that is definitely a good
Stuff
thing.
that goes completely to charity because they donate all of the money from it. So if you spend $25 on an in-game mount, that's $25 they're going to give to charity.
You're donating, and then you're donating $25 and you get a mount. So it's like incentive to be a good person.
Here, be a good person. We'll give you this. Okay.
Fine.
Wow. What Blizzard creating nice people? Buying nice people. There we go.
I feel like there's a really big backlash about this, and I don't know if they're gonna do anything about it or not. They've defended it already, so I guess we'll see.
I think they've started talking about the DLC that's coming out soon.
Yeah, the game just launched, and we're already talking DLC, but who is surprised?
Like,
No one.
I mean, come on, the game just came out.
Yeah, but that's
and you
what they're
better
going to
spend
do.
the money on the really expensive season pass version, or else you're about to get left behind already.
Yeah,
That's the way they do it. And they'll have like a 27 gig update that they'll have to put in that you have to download in order to be able to play the version you do have.
Wraith is going to be so mad at this episode.
Hey,
I'm sorry,
Destiny.
Wraith.
No,
I'm sorry.
here's the thing. I looking at the footage and watching, because I watched a lot of gameplay of it because I wanted to see if I wanted to play it. Eurogamer, our friend Johnny was playing it the other day, which was awesome because his hair made him look like a prince from like a Disney movie. So I kept calling him Prince Johnny. But the I was watching a lot of footage of it, and the gameplay and everything looks sound just like we expect from a regular Bungie game. Everything's there. It's just minor details like this, Wraith. This is the part that irritates us because this needed to move past. Like, you needed to get past it. You've made a ton of money off the original game. Because, what was it we figured out? It was like $250 is what if somebody had bought from day one and just bought the stuff, it was like $250.
Yeah.
That they would have, if they not buying any extras, just the DLCs.
I mean, if you're a Destiny player, though, like, if you just play Destiny and you're not, like, you play everything, you kind of dabble in just about everything, then that's fine. Go ahead. Destiny is your game. You play it. You love it. You can spend money on microtransactions. That's fine. But if that's your game and you're sound with spending the money on it, that's fine. But to kind of the people that want to play it, we have a hard time investing that much money into a game.
Yep.
Just out of the gate, because I mean,
from the first one, if you want to play the second one, that you're going to be asked now. Like, original Destiny, we weren't sure how it was going to go. It was the first in the series and all of this stuff, and they said they had this really long plan for it, and then all of a sudden there are 1,001 DLCs that you need to buy if you want to continue to progress. And I feel like at this point it's not shocking, and we're all just more aware of it now, and so less people are going to be right out of the gate ready to spend that.
Yeah.
Well, and then if they use the same model they did last time, all we got to do is wait until the third expansion.
And they'll do a Game of the Year edition.
They'll do a Game of the Year edition. You pay $60. Now you're caught up with everybody else paying one time $60.
Yep. So
where everybody else spent $100, $150. So
right.
it's just
we'll just wait and play it later.
It seems like a really poor model too, considering that it's an always online multiplayer game that you have to buy the base game and subsequent expansions for over the course of like 2 years. You spend $250, whereas like over the course of the entire lifespan of World of Warcraft, how much money have we spent on that as far as expansion packs go? Like, I get that we're paying a subscription fee, but you can transfer that over to saying you're paying for Xbox Live or PS Plus. Okay, fine, but even then,
I mean, I've put about 9,000 hours. Like, I did the math. I put about 9,000 hours in the World of Warcraft, and I have been playing it off and on and off and on over the last 14 years.
I'm not talking about time. I'm talking about how much money for the base game and all of the subsequent expansions if you started at vanilla.
Okay. How much was
each
vanilla?
expansion's $50, right?
$40.
40.
$40.
$40.
And you're on 7th, 6th?
We're on
Burning Crusade.
$420.
$420 total over 15 years.
That's assuming you're just getting the base games, not the collector's editions or anything.
Okay, so the base games. I mean, that's not too bad over 14 years.
All right, yeah. $420 plus what's a monthly subscription?
$15.99. If you do that subscription, if you're smart,
yeah. If
you'll
you do the once a month, yeah. If you're gonna be playing long term, there's price options, I guess, for that.
So they do like a 6 month a year. let's say the cheapest. What's the cheapest version?
Somebody quick, go to Battle.net.
$14.99.
No. If you do it for
once a month.
a year,
You know, it's the year price because they give you a discount.
I think it's like $12.99 or $11.99. It's like $3 cheaper if you do a year or 6 months.
So $144 a year.
Yeah, something like
All
that.
right. So you do. We'll say we'll round that to 150.
Right.
And if you've been playing the game's been out 12 years now.
Yep. 13 years.
Right.
Well,
13 years. Came out in 2004.
Okay.
And now they've made it to. And I could be wrong on this. Have they made it to where? They've made it now to where if you play a certain amount of time or
you
transferring.
can earn gold to buy your game time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you
earn
can-
So if
game
you're
time
a
in
long time player, now you have that as an option. So we'll say 12 years because there's going to be people that have played for a long time.
and could just buy their time. Yeah.
Yeah, now they can. Just
I
buy
would
it.
like to talk to somebody that has legitimately had their account up the full time.
I'm sure there are people.
Like
I
just
guarantee
thinking about it,
there are
I'm trying to
people.
figure out because
Well, I mean,
I
there's
think Baldus has.
there's people that have, because some of the people that never like stopped their subscription or anything else, remember, some of them
Yeah.
got those statues.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I know that they exist. I would just, I mean, that's a really big commitment. You've been
Okay.
playing for a really long time.
If you've played for the 12 years, that's an additional $1,728. That's if you're buying a year at a time.
So probably around $2,100 over 14 years.
21, over 13 years. You're gonna.
That's not
about
bad at
21.
all. I mean,
Well,
Because
but
I mean, if you
divide
turn
that
around
up.
and add in like the Destiny plus the Xbox Live time,
yeah, you ain't
subscription
gonna
fee.
get anywhere near that. But I mean, you're with that subscription time, you're also paying for dedicated servers, constant updates, and things like that. Like I think the
Destiny
value
updates
is
too,
good.
though.
True.
Okay, it's an average of $175 a year.
Okay. That's not too bad.
If we counted it, if we say $2,100 is what it would cost to run it for that amount of time, it's $175 a year is what it would cost. So in a 2-year period, now you're looking at. Whoops, I went the wrong way with that.
Welcome to the math portion of the show, everyone. You can tell that it
Weren't
is the
there-
math portion because
So
I am not
you'd be
participating.
looking at $350. So you would, and then so $250 plus $60 or whatever it is for whatever live you're using or plus. You'd be $310. So you spend $40 more dollars in a 2-year period being a WoW player than you would
Being a Destiny player.
Being a Destiny player.
Which is why I don't leave my account up.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
I mean, that's just the long and the short of it.
But if you're but again, in if you look at it too, both player bases
Mm-hmm.
that are long-time player bases pay for hours at a time, thousands of hours at a time. So it's worth it to them
Yep.
to be able to put that in. And
true.
both, so total props. I don't have a issue.
I don't
It's
have a
just not
problem
worth
if you
it to
want to
me.
do it. I
It's
just
just
think
not
as
worth
a,
it to me.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
a player looking at it, it's like, yeah, the mechanics look fun. And I've heard that Destiny 2 is more fun than the first one, but I don't want to make that kind of financial commitment at the moment.
Mhm. Like,
Have
like
they added matchmaking, by the way? I know at the first time there was a problem with matchmaking. Like, you couldn't do matchmaking for raids.
no, remember
So you can
that
still
we've already
do
talked about that.
that.
They made
I
it so
don't
that you could do
remember.
like
I'm
a
sorry.
pickup one, where if you've got 4 people in a guild, you can find somebody who's solo and then kind of bring them in.
Oh, but there's not any other way to do that?
No, that's their matchmaking now. Like if we had our 4
Oh, so
and
it's
we
still
were playing,
garbage. Got it.
it still picks up with that one. But I mean, I'd go with the same thing Oak said. I'd just wait until the Game of the Year edition and then just get it all in one bundle. And then
The
you're
problem
good to
is
go.
there's some people that can't wait, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're paying for convenience then, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, and you can't complain when you do that. Like
Yep.
I played for the original Destiny, and watching these other people play it makes me want to play it, but I'm still holding off. Like I'm doing everything I can. To
It does
hold
look
off on playing.
fun, but it
You
looks
know,
fun
fun.
at a really premium price tag.
Yep. So it's just kind of like
Premium fun.
Yes, yes. And I mean
Well,
that's I would pay for it on if I did play it, I'd pay for it and play it on PC. So I have to at least wait another month. So I mean,
Yeah.
no pressure.
I think that's what
was it
Ollie's
October
doing, too.
24th, right?
October 24th or 27th, one of those two. Maybe it's
Yeah.
the 24th. I don't know.
October-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Late October.
So well, and that's the thing. I'm kind of like, okay, well, I'll probably end up paying it on PC if I'm going to do it, just because I've got the rig to be able to run it. It runs off Battle.net, so I'm okay with that. You know, it's like you
Yep.
start using the logic, and then you're like, damn it, Destiny. You know, it's like, but I don't know. Like I got to give props. I wish I could do like Wraith does, and he takes like an entire vacation when one of the games that he likes comes out, so he can spend as much time in it as he possibly could. But yeah, that's kind of where I look at it too. Is like, am I going to have time to play this game?
No. No, I don't have enough time to commit to that specific lifestyle. Like when you pick a game like that, you set your life to that kind of lifestyle. Like you come home, you play that game.
You'd have more free time playing that than you would Ark because it's not mandatory time spent.
But Ark is a totally different lifestyle changer. Like when I was younger and I played WoW, my life consisted of get up, go to school, come home, play WoW. Get up, go to school, come home, maybe play with some friends, play WoW. Like when you commit to a game of that style, you change your schedule for it.
Well, and to be fair, when you all get back into it, when there's an expansion of some sort, or they've added on to the expansion that's currently going, I can sit here and watch everybody's names change with a little W next to it for World of Warcraft go up. And you all spend, all week long at least going through there and spending that time with it. But now, at some point, you go, okay, it's time to take a break. We need to get away from it,
Yep.
Yeah, it's on there. One of the games I was going to tell you, I totally forgot to mention earlier, was Eco. When I was at PAX West, which is something I told Grif about it. The idea behind the game itself was very similar to this with the amount of time that's on there, but I wanted to see what you all thought of this game, which was, think Ark or Minecraft or whatever, but you have 30 days before a meteor actually hits your planet. Mm-hmm. So you have to start from nothing, build up until society is high enough to where you can build a laser in order to be able to shoot the meteor. The 30 days is literally 30 days in your real life.
Holy shit.
So now they do have dedicated servers that you can go in and make that 2 months if you wanted to, because you're like, oh, there's no way I can log in every fucking day. But the other element to it is, if you build too quickly, you can kill the environment, kill the planet that you're currently on before the meteor ever hits.
Wow. What's it
and
called?
So I thought it's called Eco, ECO, which I thought it was, to me, it was great. The guys were really, really nice. I think it's I don't want to say it's like $40 or something like that to get a copy of it, but it's
not on Steam yet.
No, it's not on Steam. They're getting close to putting it on Steam. I think they have their own website you can get it off of now. But I thought it was a cool concept. But this goes back to dedication. Like, how much time do you need to dedicate? I mean, if you know you've got 30 days, do you want to go into something like that? Or is it like, all right, there's 5 of us, do we need to go in and go, all right, we all have a copy of this. We're going to control the server. We're going to put it at 4 months because we know we're going to have all this other stuff that we've got to do in between. So I thought it was kind of neat, though. It was an interesting concept. And like they handed me stickers, and one sticker's like of a fox, the other one's of a deer, because the whole thing is based on, basically trying to make sure that you keep the planet sound. So I thought it was kind of neat. And graphically, it's not bad. It's kind of in between Minecraft and Ark, like that almost cartoonish look.
Like Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, like Sea of Thieves. That same style.
That's where I look in between those two games, where you've got the cartoonish, realistic style, like Wind Waker or things like that.
Yeah.
Good medium.
Yeah. I like that look. It's almost Mario-ish.
Yes, very much so. Odyssey.
Yeah. It does look like we're getting close to the end. Anybody got anything else to add?
Yes.
Jesus beats up Buddha.
I need to go play Final Fantasy right now.
the Witcher video. If you guys are Witcher fans, you need to watch the Witcher video. It's Geralt's send off forever. Yeah, that is it.
Also, even that, if you go on to, I don't know if it's on Twitch. I know it's on NoClip. You can go on to NoClip, which Danny O'Dwyer, that used to work for GameSpot, has the company NoClip. You can go onto YouTube and watch the entire. I think it's 1 hour. Long, and it has a bunch of behind the scenes stuff and a lot of glitches and things that they worked on through the Witcher series, so you can go through and look at it too. I almost went to that because it was at PAX West, and I almost went to it, and I decided not to because it was 4 blocks up the street and I was just finishing up something else. So, But it was pretty cool. But I think that's it. Anything else, Baka?
Jesus beats up Buddha.
What?
Fight of the
Oh.
gods.
Beats up.
It's an
I
awful
heard
looking
pizza,
fight game.
and I was confused.
Yeah, a game called Fight of the Gods. That's what he's talking about. And
awful.
in the trailer,
Yeah.
the graphics are not good, and it's Jesus beating up Buddha.
Yeah.
And apparently Moses can part the sea in it. And beat people up with
And
the
drown
10...
people.
Yeah, and beat them up with the 10 Commandments. Someone is going to hell for this.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what I would feel about that. Do you think there's going to be a lot of people that just play this because?
Yeah, there's going to be people
Probably.
out there that are going to play it just because and be like, after like a few hours, be like, all right, I'm done with this. I saw what the hell this was about.
So I'm trying to see if Matt Stone and Trey Parker's names are on this game. 'Cause it
I
does
wouldn't be
seem like something they would
surprised
do.
if it was really them behind it, but then again,
Too funny. Well, we do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. Check me out personally at MDBOaktree. Check out Grif.
At Grif Slanum.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
at Baka Pickle.
Make sure you go to our YouTube as well, where you can watch the video version of this. If you're already there on YouTube, you can go and look at some old Let's Plays and some of our past shows as well. So make sure you find us there. And then, of course, InfiniteRespawn.com. Go on there and join the forums and hang out. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.